So, normally when I watch shows, any shows, not just, hang on. Why is this? Oh my god, my technology is just not working. Huh. Epoch Animation's manware stands at a very interesting place in the sense of indie animations. It is both professional looking and entirely ignored. I have not seen a series with this level of quality and this level of views. I'm getting mad from a secondhand perspective. So this is why you need to watch manware. No ifs or buts, watch it! Watch it! The thing about manware is that it feels like a cartoon that should not exist. Its feet are grounded in the realm of a cartoon world. However, its characters bleed, get hurt, be scared, be hungry, be alone, just feel generally like shit, and the base premise of the story could stand on its own as a cartoon. So that's why the fact that it's perverted into a zombie apocalypse world makes it so interesting. It feels like it's the second part of a pre-existing first part.
I wasn't just gonna let that girl die.
You should not be here. Run! Reality hangs heavy and dark over these little silly cartoon characters. It feels jarring, but also perfect. The best example I can give is the 3-part ending of Gravity Falls, the weird Mageddon storyline. While the characters stay the same, the world around them has twisted, and in return, they have also changed in order to survive. It's still silly and it still feels like a cartoon, but there are stakes to it. And that was after 2 seasons of strong build-up. This story just starts with it right out of the gate, and I think the characters are likable enough to pull something like that off. Okay, that was dumb. The 2 main characters, Jay and Olive, look pretty similar to Mordecai and Twilight. I'm not even joking. Personality-wise, they couldn't be more different. Jay is the hero. He's naive, he's innocent, he's got this kind of awkward charm to him. I think this is really brought through by his voice actor because the guy just sounds like he's saying stuff. Go to a GameStop and there's like 12 of him.
So what kind of food do you guys want to get? I think I heard that nuts can last like 6 months, so maybe...
And it really settles in the feeling that these are real people in a real apocalypse that just so happen to take the form of cartoon characters. It's really just quite charming. I love this little guy. He isn't gonna do any wrong. Don't kill him, please. Olive, on the other hand, seems to be going through the most realistic emotional turmoil. There's this part in the first episode where they need to stop off and get supplies, and she's like, "Can I please wait outside?"
Olive, are you coming?
I'm fine out here. Why don't you guys go on ahead?
With her around, the stakes feel even more realized. There's no sense of plot armor because she's constantly cowering in fear, and the story doesn't go out of its way to show us that they're going to be fine. If anything, the show, for the first 2 episodes, I was worried they were gonna fucking die.
Don't worry!
Get it off! Someone get it off!
This is partially helped by just how grotesque and loud the sound effects are. For a little cartoon series, you would expect them to be at least a little bit, I don't know, toned down, but the sound effects are really loud. The clanking of metal, the squelching flesh, blood-curdling screams. It's terrible and really fun. You just get the feeling that like every single action has impact and every single action is delivered by a very strong... I really do think the animation of the show is one of its strong points, and honestly, animation is a little contentious in the indie field. Not a lot of productions have that high of a budget, and I certainly know when my series comes out, no one's going to be praising it for how wonderful the graphics are. That being said, what they are functions wonderfully. They move in these ragdoll-like physics. Their limbs are always distinguishable from each other, and their powers, Jay for one can overextend one of his arms. Every time he does this, you just get a feeling that his whole body is being yanked taut by it. The momentum is there, the kickback is there. It is a beautiful show of cause and effect, which bleeds into my opinions on the fight scenes. The fight scenes in this show are really, really good. They don't have the glitz and glam of shonen battle fights. They don't have the blood splattering super effects of Has-Been Hotel. There's no high animation budget or quick frame rate. However, they're choreographed really well. It almost feels like the gut splattering catharsis of a really good Smash combo, or maybe one of those Street Fighter games. Every single action is taking the characters closer and closer to either a victory or a very grisly end. It really is the definition of use what you have, and by God did they use it. While I spoke highly of Jay and Olive, my real favorite character has got to be Ace. He just strikes me as the most morally ambiguous man around. Minor spoilers here. For the first 2 episodes, they're on the run. Ace has these moments where he actively decides to leave one of the other 2 kids behind to die. He just decides, okay, you're not choosing life? Fine, I won't choose it for you. And he walks away. And I mean, there are many moments where he comes back to save them. There's plenty of times where he risks his own life, but there's just a moment of moral ambiguity here and there that makes you realize, I trust Jay, I trust Olive, I do not trust Ace. For a series as bombastic and violent and quick-paced as it is, so much of the actual characterization is really subtle, and I hope as the series goes on, it doesn't lose that magic. Manware is basically a story about a hyper-technological zombie apocalypse, where everyone is some form of cyborg, and the zombies are overcome with a virus, a Trojan. As we get closer and closer towards a cybernetic future, the idea of losing bodily autonomy becomes more and more terrifyingly realistic. How much of what we do is within our own control? How much of what we say comes from our own minds? And I think that in this AI-generated hellscape of modern art, Manware does a very good job of just showing what human dedication, human drive, and human attention to detail is capable of accomplishing. I really hope the characters don't lose their humanity, but I get the worst feeling they might already be on the track too.